Notion and Anki, these are two apps I started using in uni that are very, very useful. So I'm going to run through why I use them and how I use each app separately. But alongside revision, Notion is also really good to just schedule my day, to just pattern what I'm doing, to just have everything sorted out. I use Notion to have my life sorted out pretty much. But I'm also going to be teaching you how you can make flashcards and how you can convert them from Notion to Anki. This is actually how I revise in uni as a dental student. I make my flashcards on Notion and convert them to Anki. This is because Anki puts that spaced repetition in there for me, so it's much easier and I can just go along with it. But the good thing about Notion is that you can separate it up into separate pages. And in each page, you can link stuff or you can put another page in that page. So for example, I have my first year university page and my second year university page. I have a TikTok video ideas list, a YouTube video ideas list, and just a to-do list. So these are 5 separate pages that I have in Notion. And all these 5 pages are on the sidebar, so I can navigate them very easily on my laptop and on my phone. You can also use like icons and banners to make it personalized. By the way, this isn't sponsored by Notion or Anki, this is just from my personal experience. With the to-do list feature, it's actually got a little box and like you can tick off whatever you do and it crosses out. It's kind of satisfying. It makes you feel like you've achieved something. It makes you feel accomplished. The TikTok and YouTube video ideas pages, it's really useful to me because if I'm out and I randomly come up with an idea, I can just go on my phone and type it in. Or if I'm actually sat at my desk planning videos, I can just sit on Notion and do it. This way I don't forget any videos. But the main reason I use Notion is for uni. So after setting up the year 2 lectures page, I insert a table, and in each row or column, what is it? This way. I'm going to say it's a row. And in each row, I insert a page. And each page is that lecture. So what I've said there is very complicated, but to simplify it, it's just that each lecture is a separate page and I can fit all them pages into one page, which is an overview of all of year 2 university. And so in that page, I use the toggle feature to make questions off of my lecture. The way I usually do it is I read through the lecture slides, see if there's anything that I find useful, see anything that's important. Usually there is very important stuff in the lecture slides. And I convert it into questions. So for example, a very easy example, in the lecture it says you should brush your teeth 2 times a day. I would put the toggle on Notion, how many times should you brush your teeth in a day? And then as the answer, I'll put 2. So that's how I'll make my flashcards. I'll make it on Notion using the toggle feature. The good thing about this is that Notion is an app that you sign into. So I can log into my account on any other computer. So this way I can't lose any of my content. If my laptop breaks down, if my phone breaks, if I don't have any resource, I can still always get access to my Notion page. I can still always have access to my flashcards. I won't lose everything that I've worked for. The majority of my work goes on in Notion, but no revision actually occurs in Notion. And as I said, each lecture is a page in my Notion. In Notion, you can actually export the pages or just save it as whatever. It's got like 3 dots in the top right corner. You press it and then you go down to export and you export it as a HTML file. And so when you export it as a HTML file, you save it in your computer, obviously. Then you go to a website called 2anki.net. It will be on screen right now. And you actually put the file into that. And then you actually copy the file into that website. And this website just converts it to an Anki deck for you and you just download the Anki deck. And what it does is whatever you put as the question on the toggle, that will be the question on the Anki card. And whatever you put as the answer on the toggle will be the answer on the Anki flashcard. I find it much easier as well because I find Notion much easier to use compared to Anki. Much more understandable. It's not as complex as Anki, I don't find it. And I find it quicker as well. So this way I can make my questions in lesson and answer them later after. And obviously with Anki, I sit down and I do my flashcards. The way I actually do it is that I write down each flashcard. So it'll be like a page of notes. And before I do it a second time, like let's say 2 days time or the day after, I'll read over my notes before I do the Ankis. I didn't used to write down and it didn't used to stick in my head as much as it does now that I've started writing down. So that's a tip that I recommend. Write down your flashcards whilst you're revising them. I don't know if it's just the action of writing or it makes me pay attention to it more or whatever, but it really does help. I know this video sounded a bit complicated. Hopefully it didn't. I tried my best to make it as simple as possible. It is literally just Notion and Anki. But I do understand why people need help to understand it. I needed help to understand it at the start as well. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. I reply to all DMs if you need any help. Follow my TikTok. I post there daily pretty much. I think I just hit 700 subscribers, so thank you that. I'm aiming for 1,000, so subscribe. And thank you for watching.